everyone, hope you're having a wonderful day. AussieSim2 here, and today guys is the official release of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer, or just the whole game in general, which I've been super hyped for like this whole entire week after playing the campaign. And I mean, to be honest, I've been pretty hyped for the last month or two anyway, especially after the beta and everything. Got me very excited for this Call of Duty release. Now I thought I'd do a quick video going over all the new maps we have inside the new Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. Now I will not be going over the beta maps. I think we've seen enough of those, so no farm, no Mikado, whatever the other two were. I've literally forgotten the names of them already. Only going to be going over the new maps that have been released. Now we have 11 maps on release, which is actually fantastic. That is massive. That is enough variety, I think, to keep people happy. And then obviously in 3 weeks time, I think they're going to be dropping their their season 1 with Warzone and everything, so we'll probably get like 1 or 2 more maps. Plus we know a whole bunch of the old Modern Warfare 2 maps are getting remade anyway, so they're probably going to trickle them through the seasons as they come along. So we're going to be going over the new map. It's going to be basically giving my first impression and my general thoughts on them. So let's not muck around, let's just jump into the first one, and that is our Bagra Fortress, which is basically a Middle Eastern medieval museum, which is really cool. I love the aesthetic of it. All the colors and the aesthetic and every single one of these maps that they have added has actually been fantastic. The colors stand out. I feel like a lot of the skins are going to stand out from the background. There's a few maps I'm a little iffy about, but other than that, most of them have been pretty good. This one especially, I love the aesthetic of Al Bagra. It's like some Middle Eastern museum, like I said before. It's got lots of like relics and cool antiques everywhere. The attention to detail as well is fantastic. Even though you don't have to put all these little props in, it's nice that there's lots of little props in just to fill out the space and kind of make it look more realistic. The only one negative I will say, for a 6v6 map, it does feel like it's quite open, quite long. A lot of long range fights, not really a close range map until you kind of get inside. Inside seems to be where most of the action is going to happen. There's a lot of ways into this main house, and the main house kind of has the upper level and kind of has the high ground against everybody else running through the laneways. I think the big building itself is going to be very hot property. Like I said, there's lots of different access points. You have the high ground as well on some of the balconies, and you kind of have little windows overlooking all of the rest of the map. So overall, a very cool map. It plays quite well in multiplayer. I've only played one match on it so far, so I can't really comment too much, but it does play quite well. I feel like the flow's there's enough movement for everyone to not get caught out and spawn trapped and stuff like that. Overall, pretty solid map. And now the next one, guys, we do have El Asilo. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Probably not, probably absolutely butchering. This map I'm not sure about. This map's a little weird. Played one map, I feel like played one match of this map. I feel like it's just a little bit too big. But having said that, it's kind of the same as Al Bagra. It's got a big building, which is kind of like the central point of the whole entire map with other laneways. You got your 2 laneways on the side, and then the building in the middle kind of acts as like the middle laneway with all different routes that kind of split out to those outside laneways. But like I said before, I haven't played a lot on these maps yet, so it's hard to comment, so I can only just give like my first impression. But this map I'm not sure about. Probably when I play a little bit more and get more familiar with the map and more familiar where people like to sit and like to pre-aim and all that kind of stuff, I think it will be a lot better. Learning the map for the first time can kind of be a little bit overwhelming, but map knowledge kind of does come over time anyway. So yeah, the big building's kind of got like a bar and stuff in it, kind of cool. Again, a lot of props and nice attention to detail. Lots of smashed bottles on the floor. Really cool aesthetic. Moving on to the next one, guys, we do have the Embassy. Now the Embassy is a bit of a different map compared to all the other ones that we have in this map pool 4 release. And the reason for that is it's got 2 main big buildings that kind of make up the whole map. There's like little passageways that kind of go in between these 2 buildings, but essentially there's 2 big buildings, 1 little gap in between them, and that is basically it. But having said that, this is kind of like a close quarters map for people that probably like using SMGs and shotguns. And the other thing that I really like about this map is the color of the walls. Again, it's to help the player view models stand out, and I really like that attention to detail. I think this map's going to be a lot of fun to play. I haven't actually played this map yet, haven't seemed to get it in the quick play rotation, but I'm very excited to play this map and see how it actually plays out. I think it's going to be very sweaty in these buildings, given how close quarter those are. You're probably going to get flash, stun, nades all the time. But I think it's going to be a lot of good fun, and I can't wait to see how it actually plays out. Next up, guys, we do have the Crown Speedway. I think it was called something else before that. I'm not 100% sure, but it is called the Crown Speedway now. Now, this map is very, very nice. The colors pop, the environment, just the props, the aesthetic of the whole entire map is very, very pretty. Kind of, again, I have not played this map yet in multiplayer, so I'm kind of interested to see how the player models actually stand out in this map, because it is so vibrant and so colorful. Sometimes that can be a bit of a clash because your eyes are just like looking everywhere at the colors. But either way, I do like the fact that they are kind of paying attention to what kind of color the surroundings are to not interfere with you not being able to see. Now, the Crown Speedway map is very, very pleasing, very, very vibrant, very, very colorful. I can't wait to actually try this map out myself, but just on first impressions, I actually really like the visuals that this map actually brings to the table. Now, moving on to the next one, we do have the border crossing, Santa Saya border crossing. I'm probably absolutely butchering this. Not much to talk about this map. This is interesting. It's like, basically all it is the border crossing with a whole bunch of cars in it. Interesting idea for a map. It's probably not going to be a lot of people's favorite, but after playing it, I gotta say, I don't mind it. I actually don't mind it because it's a high risk reward map in the way that if you jump on top of the cars, you're super visible, but now you're the only person that has high ground. So it's kind of like a high risk, high reward kind of play style map, and that I kind of like. A lot of people might not like it. It is very, very congested, and I can see like people just running around the cars, and then you running into someone else that you thought was the other guy that you're chasing. It could probably get a bit chaotic with how cramped and tight the spaces are. You do have a long tunnel area on the side of like this little freeway overpassing that you can go down, and you don't have to deal with all the cars. And it does offer really, really good 1v1 situations because you're always gonna meet the other guy in the hallway eventually. So that I really, really like. Overall, I don't think this is going to be everyone's favorite map, but me personally, I actually really like it. Now, moving on to the next one, guys, is Tariq. Tariq, I think I'm probably butchering every single one of these names. I'm so sorry. Now, this map is actually pretty interesting. It's just basically a big desert map. It's quite a big square-ish map, and it doesn't really follow the three laneway methods that make... It doesn't really follow the three laneway methods, but either way, it's still a pretty enjoyable map. There are some open areas where if you're trying to push from one building to the other building, you get caught out quite frequently from people just like holding other buildings. I really like there's a lot of walls and broken buildings that you can kind of like escalate, like you can kind of scale and climb on top of it just to get yourself a better elevation point and a better viewpoint of your, like, the map essentially, and you can get easy picks from people not kind of expecting you to be up on walls or up on buildings. Overall, it's a pretty decent map. I mean, it's a little bland. It's compared to like some of the other maps that they added in. Overall, it could have been a lot better. It could have been a lot worse, but it's a pretty decent map overall. Now, last but not least, we have the Zarqwa Hydroelectric. I'm assuming this is like some kind of water treatment hydro plant thing. It's a really, really cool idea for a map. I have played it. I'm not a big fan of it at all. But I like the idea, and I'm assuming, like, again, with more time on the actual map, more map knowledge, I will probably come to actually like the map. I love the idea. I want to like this map. The map has water. I didn't think they were going to add the underwater mechanic into just multiplayer, but I was wrong. They did it, and I'm kind of happy that they did do it because this is a really interesting take on a map. You have the upper level, and then you kind of have the underwater section, which is a quick way from point A to point B. And I think this is going to be really cool. I personally didn't find anyone in the water when I was trying to like make flanks or plays and stuff like that, which kind of sucked. I really wanted to have some underwater engagement. Again, this map does have the 3 laneways, but it kind of has like the 3 laneways on the top and 3 laneways on the bottom. So it's kind of a cool experimental style map with water and everything. It's really, really nice to see them try to like do different things inside of like multiplayer maps and stuff. That is basically it from me, guys. Let me know what you guys think of the new Call of Duty maps. I'm so glad that they added in 7 new maps on top of the 4 maps we already knew from the beta, as well as them adding in 3 new ground war maps on top of the 2 we already know as well. So that is just, so there's a load of content for release, which is what we want to see. Let me know what you guys think of all the new maps in the comment section below. Personally, I think they're fantastic with the exception of like 1 or 2, but like I said, more time on the maps, more map knowledge, I will probably have a different opinion. Expect to see load more Modern Warfare 2 videos, guys, especially now that we can start doing a camo grind and we can unlock other weapons and try other stuff out that we didn't have in the beta. I'm really hyped to check all that stuff out. But that is it from me, guys. Until next time, stay safe. Peace out.